All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about Errol Spence Jr.'s team's response to rumors of steroid use by his camp. Specifically, they came by my channel to let me know what they thought. So I owe it to them to make this video and let it be known in a video. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. Great fight coming up very, very soon. Yordenis Ugas versus Errol Spence Jr., or should I reverse that and say Errol Spence Jr., who was the WBC and the IBF champion, will be fighting Yordenis Ugas, who is the WBA super champion, for a 3-belt unification fight in the welterweight division. Some comments had come out from Victor Conte related to Ugas and Errol Spence, and I did a live stream earlier this Saturday, and somebody that's a well-known member of Errol Spence Jr.'s camp came by and let me know what he thought of the video and the discussion that we had done. So owe it to them to make a video and let it be known what that conversation was, to be fair. Also, but before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are a longtime subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your support. If you are not a subscriber, accept my invitation to hit the subscribe, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. Your input your input on the comments in the comment section would be greatly appreciated. All right, so let's go to it. First of all, there's a big fight coming up between Errol Spence and Yordenis Ugas, right? And a conversation that has been going around for years about Errol Spence Jr. and this time and about Yordenis Ugas got a fire lit under it by some videos that were done on YouTube about a comment that was made by Victor Conte. Now, if you're not familiar with who Victor Conte is, let me give you a little bit of background on him. He is a guy that used to work for a company called Balco and was involved in a really, really big steroid scandal back in the day. Marion Jones, who was a track athlete, was involved in it. He used to be, I believe, a nutritionist for Marion Jones, and a bunch of other athletes got twisted up in this steroids controversy. Victor Conte was one of the people that were working and providing the steroids or the performance enhancing drugs to athletes, right? Now he has a company which is by all everything that I can see, a clean company called Snack. You'll see Snack out there, with different fighters, being sponsored by that. Jaron Boots Ennis is sponsored by Snack. Devin Haney is sponsored by Snack. I think David Benavidez is sponsored by Snack. Mikey Garcia was at a time sponsored by Snack. But he is now, pretty much a go-to guy for the media when they want to ask questions about performance enhancing drugs, who they think are on it and who they think are not on it. Victor Conte gave his 2 cents on Errol Spence Jr. and Yordenis Ugas. And he said something to the effect of that he believed that, or he suspected based on the information that he had, that they potentially could be using performance enhancing drugs. Okay, just gonna leave it at that. Now, this is something that where I did a video about it. I let it be known that that's what he said because I had seen it on other places on the internet, and people were coming to my comment section asking me what I thought about it. So I did the video, and then I did a live stream on Saturday, and a team member for Errol Spence Jr. jumped on the call and flat out said, "Look, Fanon, this is a dumb conversation. This is something that people have been saying and throwing around for years about Errol, and it is absolutely ridiculous. Errol Spence Jr. has been built like that and has been that type of condition, physical condition, since he was in grade school, since he was in, I think the phrase he used was since he was in middle school, right? Now, one of the things that people point to with Errol Spence Jr. when they say that is that he has some fleshy materials on his pectorals, right? And around the brown marks on your pectoral muscles. Hate saying that word on YouTube, right? But they are puffy, right? Now, what they say that is something that when you see that in professional bodybuilders or somebody like that, that is something that people say that people develop after they use performance enhancing drugs. However, that is not the only time in which people will develop that. I think the word that they use that is glynocomastria, something like that. If I mispronounce it, please forgive me. But it is something that some people develop early in childhood because they have too much estrogen in their system when they're children, and as a result, that becomes that, and they're built like that from a young age, and it has absolutely nothing to do with your hormones or your hormones being thrown out of balance because you're using HGH or you're using some type of steroid. So people have been saying this for a while, and I didn't mention this in the original video that I did. That's why I wanted to make sure I came back and did it. That it is a well-known fact that Errol Spence Jr. has looked like that, and his chest has looked like that for a very, very long time. And it would look like that, and there are actually pictures of him when he was maybe 14, or maybe 16 years old, because he's got, I believe it's like right when he started boxing, you can see him, his musculature is not, his muscularness is not defined, but you can still see his chest and see that though that same stuff is there. So any evidence any type of implication that Victor Conte took off the fact that he can see puffiness around the nipples of Errol Spence Jr. do not in and of themselves prove that this guy has done anything wrong, because that's what his chest looked like years before and during a time period where it was almost guaranteed that he was not using performance enhancing drugs. Now, also, as far as the VADA testing, they said that they suspected that there wouldn't be VADA testing for the fight. I do not know that's been the case. I have not heard Errol Spence Jr. or Yordenis Ugas or anybody other than the rumors around what Victor Conte said about there not being tested for the fight. Errol Spence Jr. is the WBC champion, and Errol Spence Jr. has been tested by the WBC for the last several fights that he has been a champion of. Now, as far as whether or not they're going to use VADA testing for this fight with Yuriorkis Gamboa, for Yordenis Ugas or not, I can't say, because there are 3 belts involved in it, and the WBA has testing, the WBO has testing, and the WBC has testing. So I'm not sure what, and nor do I think anybody has stated which sanctioning body will be providing the testing in this particular fight. But not having that released publicly or having that out readily available does not mean that they're not doing any testing. However, I will say this, that even if they did it, wouldn't prevent these guys from testing positive or using performance-enhancing drugs, because the WBC has pretty much thrown away all credibility of their testing protocols anyway when they let Oscar Valdez off the hook for testing positive under VADA and then changing to WADA. So for all I know, these guys said, hey man, if we're going to get tested under WADA, let's just go to WADA, right? But anyway, I'm not sure if that is the case or not. However, I can definitely tell you that Team Spence completely denied that, got on my show and was like, look, it's not worth talking about spreading these guys rumors or whatever. But I was like, look, if people come to my comment section and they ask me about it on a consistent basis, I'll do a video about it, because I want to answer questions in a video, because I'm going to get them in my emails and all that stuff regardless. But they definitely denied it, pointed to the fact that he had looked like that for years. I don't believe that the man is on performance enhancing drugs. And on top of that, I don't think he could be accused of it until he actually tests positive for it. Because if you can give the benefit of the doubt to people like Canelo Alvarez and Oscar Valdez and Dillian White, people who have actually, and Tyson Fury, people who have actually tested positive for performance enhancing drugs, then I think you should be able to give the benefit of the doubt for people that have not tested positive at all. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.